So we're still early innings, but we were seeing a real acceleration on digital lead sourcing. And this was a heavy lift because we've always been aggressive on marketing. We've always spent more on marketing. Historically, it had been more traditional marketing, doing seminars, doing newspaper ads, doing mailers. At the end of the day, that's not where the puck is going. The puck is increasingly going towards digital. Listen, people with tens and $20 million are doing Google searches to pick their advisor nowadays. It's who would have thought, right? But that's the reality. So part of the reason we hired McKinsey was to help us think through that. We knew that we had to completely pivot our strategy instead of, just trying stuff and, shooting up in the air and hoping ducks fall. This is more rifle shot, right? And it's expensive, we're spending now, almost $10 million a year on this. It's a risk. And, we started out less than that, but it was sort of, test, learn, optimize, because it takes a lot of, experimenting to figure out what works. And so it's taken about 2 years, but, we dramatically ramped up our spend. We've had to reorganize our advisor comp system to support this. The traditional sales approach doesn't work for digital. The traditional, like if I just take all these digital leads that come out of doing 100 webinars a year, and give them to that, gray-haired 50-year-old advisor who's going to do it the way they always do them. It's like you might as well throw seeds on a parking lot, right? It's not right, because it's speed to lead to speed or speed to lead, right? It's these unlike a referral that comes in, that you can close in 30 days, and it's going off of your personal brand. A digital lead is cold or that's lukewarm, and you have to have a whole internal sales process there. So we built an entire internal, team to develop and warm up these, and we've been building out a business development team that can close these things much more quickly. So it's we've had to really transform the business model to be able to be effective at these. But we're now seeing, this year it's really picking up steam. Last quarter was our biggest quarter in the history of the firm. We can point most of this to the digital investments we've made, internal, development team that we've had to install, to support and make this effective.
What Brent is saying here very much aligns with our experience at FICOM. We conducted consumer research to explore how consumers are choosing different financial advisors. In an industry where organic growth is often built on client referrals, the results were surprising to us. We found that for consumers age 60 and older, a referral is still a requirement for most when choosing a financial advisor. But if you drop that age down from 60 to 44, there is a real need for advisors to have a multi-channel digital strategy to meet the modern consumer where they are today. In our study, only 29% of consumers said they still require a referral to hire a financial advisor. You heard that right, just 29%. For targeting people under the age of 60, a mix of digital marketing tactics are what's driving their decision on hiring an advisor. Here's Rob Morrison with more on Savant's approach to digital discovery.
We're really beginning to get some traction with we have a centralized call team. We call our client discovery team. We put a lot of resource and energy into digital marketing, and that engine is really starting to develop leads and get smarter about curating those leads and then making effective handoffs with advisors. And so, when we go into a new market, we're able to turn on that market in that geography. And we're having, to me, it's a surprising amount of large wins from those efforts. So I would have theorized going into this a few years ago that we'd get smaller on average clients, and we're not seeing that. So that's been a really interesting surprise. I guess there's a lot of multimillionaires shopping in their pajamas at night online. So that's and the momentum on that seems to be picking up because we just keep iterating, right? I mean, we're continuing to learn how do we refine that process.